Hey folks, let's just turn that on. Oh, there we go. I pressed. I thought I hadn't pressed it enough, but I actually had pressed it enough times. Okay. Let me grab. Oh, this is the. Move this down. I don't think I've changed. Yeah, I didn't change my audio device. There we go. That should be sorted there. Okay, right, it's getting cold in here, so I'm just gonna like turn the heating on real quick. Actually, I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, right. I return. So, I am going to be carrying on with the work I started on Monday, and I'm going to finish up making the new fungi creatures, because I think I had like one idea left that I wanted to make. I wanted to make a sort of Cordyceps fungus-like plant creature. And I'm going to need to make a new page for this. It's going to be big. I don't have a name for it yet. Need sort of like a visual feel for this thing. I guess probably not going to have art for it, so... Let me look at images of like Cordyceps. And like tall and stringy. Yeah. Maybe it's like a worm or something. Oh, then it would sort of be, it's small and kind of imply that it's weak, and I don't really want to do that. It's sort of like the main design I wanted to do today, which was like follow up on an idea that I was developing last week, and it's still in sort of very like, turn the music down a bit, still in very kind of like early stages of thought right now. So welcome in. Trying to think of like a visual flair for this sort of like Cordyceps-esque creature. I can't think of what I want to do with it. So I've got a lot of options, but it's sort of like coming up with what this thing kind of visually sort of Like what its kind of like exact vibe is. I'm not sure. I guess like thinking about specifically what it does. Obviously like the Cordyceps thing where it kind of like infects you and then makes you do things, but I'm trying to think of like how that would necessarily work. Maybe it itself is very small. I don't want to just make it like a body taker plant or like an oblex. They're two sort of sides of the same coin, or they kind of like make an other you kind of like the Obliviax, which I've already made, does the same thing. I kind of don't want to do that. Maybe I don't think I want to do that. Maybe it still only infects insects. Yeah, maybe we sort of remove, like, sort of completely divorce that kind of like, oh, it could body take you kind of thing. There's lots of monsters that already do that. There's already one in this book. I don't want to just make another one for the sake of like, oh, you know, scary. Like, it stops being scary if you do it like a million times. Maybe it's like a swarm keeper fungus, or like I've used the title swarm keeper already. I can't do it again, but what's another word for swarm? So the only thing that comes to mind is horde. Let me look at myconids real fast. Because myconid, what was like the etymology of because presumably it's mycelium. But where does the onid come from? What is that etymology? Yeah. Yeah, myco is... Yeah, mycology, mycelium, like, yeah. I mean, what's actually mycelium? What's the exact definition of mycelium? Here we go. A vegetative part of a fungus consisting of the network of white filaments. Oh, okay, cool, right, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, conid is like a zoological, like, classification-y kind of word, or like a suffix that they use to refer to it as to the class or family in which the species belongs. Okay, right, that makes sense. Cool. I was thinking of making like a different, you know, a sort of not myconid kind of creature that's evil in some way. But I couldn't. I can't really find a good name or theme for them. But maybe it's just like not directly related to them, and it's something completely different. How smart are myconids? I think they're like average intelligent. Like the sprouts are kind of not intelligent, but like regular myconids are like. Let's take a look. Myconid Sovereign, Intelligence 13, the adult. Intelligence, yeah, they are like of average human intelligence. Like the Sprouts are children or babies, so they're not very smart. Well, they're like below average, and like the Sovereigns are their leaders, so they're above average in intelligence. That makes sense. I want to make this thing high CR, like something that's actually like scary. Like all the fungus creatures, the ones I've made is like CR5. Oh, I've scrolled the wrong way. CR3, CR8, CR half, CR2, and then like the other mushrooms they cap at like CR1 or something. There's the violet fungus, which is CR8. There's the shrieker, which I think is CR0. Yeah, and the gas spore, which is like CR1. No, CR half. So yeah, it needs to be big, bigger CR, like at least tier 2, but I'm thinking maybe higher than that. Like CR11 or something. Fuck it, I'm gonna specifically like aim for CR11. Obviously, if it's not exactly CR11, that's fine. But I want to aim for about that, so I can sort of eyeball some general sort of numbers. That's +4. Yes. Let's take that off to make a bit of breathing space. Yeah, that was sort of the vibe I was sort of gonna get to, but I'm trying to think of like exactly how it works, because it's a cordyceps, and the whole thing with cordyceps being that they take over insects, and that's, well, some of them do, not all of them do, some of them do, will grow in insects and will fuck with their like brain chemistry and shit and make them go to a high place like on top of a blade of grass and stand there until the cordyceps like goes through its skin and bursts everywhere. So maybe that's what maybe this thing like maybe it infects you and then just pieces out. It's not interested in killing anything, it's interested in spreading. Yeah, maybe instead of sort of like a specific body taker thing, it doesn't like imprison you and like That is good. I'm gonna consider that. That's I'm gonna make this thing large. Large plant, fungi, alignment, true neutral. I'm gonna make it like human level intel. Like it's not smart, but it's like of average human intelligence. It does, however, have 5 charisma because it like doesn't communicate with people like at all. Maybe it can be like slightly like it's. I'm thinking maybe 8 is the number to go with here. Like it's like not quite. I think the sort of the horror angle of Spine Fondler is good. I'm not sure if I'll go with specifically that, but something along those lines. I think it might be a bit too like abject horror, but I do like it. I'm gonna go 30 feet. Oh, okay, no, I know what this thing is now. Shit. I know exactly what this thing is. No, it's called a fucking Spine Fondler now, huh? That's just a really good name. I'm gonna have to go with that. Yeah, I've been... So I'm thinking that what this thing ends up being is like, when I hear the term like spine fondler or the name, I think of like the word spindle, and cordyceps are like long and thin, like they're not like, they don't have the big puff cap sort of, although I don't think that's what they're called, but like the big sort of like a bell top that like a mushroom or like your average, what you think of a mushroom to have. Or it's not even like those like fan ones that grow on like vertical surfaces. I don't even know what those are called. I think they have a very specific name. What like the like platformy like ones are. But the cordyceps are really thin and quite tall. So this thing will grow and it will infect your spinal column and thus your brain. It will take your brain stem and will grow out of your back and will produce these long spidery legs to sort of scuttle around on while your corpse is just kind of dangling around. I might actually have to commission art for this thing because it is that terrifying. I think that's too scary not to use. Ah, okay. I never would have guessed that. Like, oh, I'm seeing it spelt like conk, K, or C-O-N-K. Bracket? I think I've heard the term bracket before. Oh, I think this is a specific kind of mushroom. Ooh, yeah. Right. So, the spine fondler is horrible. Understands the languages of its host but can't speak is awful, so we're using that. This thing can see. Like, this thing doesn't have blind sight, it can see, which I think is horrible. Can it see? No, I'll just give it like as See, most of the mushrooms have like a blind sight and a blind sight up to a radius and a blind beyond that radius. He's got my throat. Fuck. It's this horrible, like, tickling sensation. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Passive perception. Passive perception. Let's just give it 10. Skills. Let's give it stealth. Why not? It's large, but it's fast and quite strong. And pretty tough. Stealth, that's +8. I guess we can... Yes, just give it stealth. I won't give it saving throws just yet. I'll keep it saving throws as is for now. Resistances, immunities, condition immunities. Blinded charm, deafened exhaustion. Yep, all of those things make sense. Damage immunities. Is this thing immune to any kind of damage? I don't think so. Is it resistant to any kind of damage? It could have some kind of, like, very specific... It could have a hyper-specific... I'm always against vulnerabilities because they like throw like monster balance just out the window. Some kind of poison like susceptibility is cool though. So hang on, let's do. So I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna do something else instead. I'm gonna work out. Instead of taking extra damage, I'm thinking like it's debuffed in some capacity when it takes poison damage. I'm always, because they're always just more interesting than vulnerability anyway. Like, vampires aren't vulnerable to radiant damage, but their regeneration stops, for instance, which is way more interesting than them just taking double damage. Like, vulnerability is satisfying for players, but is miserable for DMs, and makes, like, designing monsters just impossible. There's so many monsters that are like, yeah, this thing is CR4, but if they have radiant damage, yeah, it's like CR1. That's like the Shadow Demon, for instance. Slumming it down could work. Oh, I'm gonna make this thing fast. First off, I'm gonna give it Spider Climb, and I'm also gonna retest my honestly, it depends, but generally, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've never actually heard of people doing that. Actually, it's fairly interesting, but I've never heard of it. I just don't design monsters with vulnerabilities. I design them with damage susceptibility, which means they take like the max damage, like Blight always does max damage to plants. I use that instead, or I make monsters that, for instance, like the Basidrond, which is immune to cold damage. However, when it takes cold damage, its speed is reduced. It's already very low speed, and it loses its core ability. Like, it stops working for a round. Like, it cripples it really badly, as opposed to melting all of its health off in a single attack. Now, I need to check whether I have done Spider Climb right. Because I really should just automate Spider Climb. I use it so much at this point. But I'm fairly certain I can always type it out correctly. What am I missing here? Oh, I put include instead of including. There we go. Yeah, I tend to either put no resistances or vulnerabilities on monsters, or give them, like, you know, a regular amount of resistances. yeah, whatever resistances would be common. I tend to try and design monsters with basically a unique selling point rather than like specific vulnerabilities or weaknesses or resistances. Like some of them have them. But if I were to look at like, let's go here. That's a swarm. That's a bad example. Like the Obliviex is resistant to psychic damage because it is psychic-related things. I've actually not really put any damage resistances in this book, like, at all. I guess they're all plants, so it's not really surprising, I suppose, but it's less than I thought. Spider climb. Oh, no, hang on, that should be here. Poison. Poison Bane? I don't know, I'll come up with a better name. Oh, let's do Poison Aversion. Here we go. Because there's the Flesh Golem has that. Oh no, it's aversion to poison. There we go. Poison. Oh no, it's if the Spine Fondler takes poison damage, attack rolls and ability checks. Speed is halved until the end of its next turn. So it has a specific like susceptibility to poison. It does not like poison. Now, to give this thing let's give it a 4-leg attack. It's +7 to hit. No, +8. I'm going to give it 10-foot reach. It's got big old long legs. It's going to do 1d10 +4. It's 9 piercing damage. That's not a lot. Let's go 15. Just for now, anyway. Nah, no, I won't have this. No, I will. Especially 5 feet in a direction. 5 feet in a direction the spine fondler chooses that is horizontal to it. Grab. One creature the spine fondler has hit. One creature spine fondler has hit. DC. Oh no, it's escape DC 15? Yeah. Let's go 16, why not? Oh no, it does use strength, so we'll do that. Let's look at the constrictor snake. That does the same thing that I want it to do. Creature is restrained, and the spine fonder can't grab another target. Excellent. It can replace one attack or a use of Shriek. Never remember if I'm spelling Shriek right. I am. Must succeed on a DC 16. Let's see how DCs. Not sure if there's a worse way to misspell Shriek. There's got to be something better than EA as the E sound. I guess EAGH is good. I don't know. I feel like there must be another way to do it that's worse than that. I'm not sure though. Ooh, yeah, that's bad. That's definitely the worst one. I feel like we've sort of passed the point where people will just not know. Like the first one, I still read that as shriek. That one, if I were to see that with no context, I have no fucking clue what you were talking about. I feel we've crossed the boundary. Like technically you can pronounce it shriek, but no one would on first guess. Yeah. I would read that as maybe French, but even then. Yeah, no, that's bad. That's a bad time. Like the diacritic A and the I would recognize as like an E, like a. But even then, I'm instinctively trying to pronounce that as A. There's a point in time where I tried to learn Gaelic pronunciation. It didn't work out. It's not that it's massively complicated. It's just that it's so alien that I just couldn't like. I just couldn't like gel with it at all. So welcome in. We're currently making this. So I'm very much at the wrong end of the country to be interfacing with Gaelic or Welsh or Irish or any of their like derivatives. I say that I don't think there. Oh no. There might. No, there are. I think there are a couple other really minor languages that still have like a handful of speakers in. So we'll go 48 damage. What is that? 48 is 9. It's 2 9s, 18. We'll just go 2d8 for now. Let's go 9 damage. Oh, I forgot to actually add stat. So it's a 13 damage correction plus, and then we'll go 40, 10. That's 22. Target is a creature. Okay, I'm afflicted with spine fondler spores. Oh, hang on. Let's disguise this effect. Failed save or half switch results. That's one. Becomes afflicted with spine fondler spores. Yeah, players do weird shit sometimes. Admittedly, vampires are probably like some of the weakest creatures like just in the game. They have like the health and damage output of like a CR4 creature, and they're just like, oh yeah, they're CR 13. It's just a lie. I imagine if they were in a lair, they probably assumed that they couldn't take a long rest. I would imagine that would have been their reasoning, is that they were like, well, we can't take a long rest in the middle of a dungeon because that would be suicidal. That's probably more dangerous than just going to fight the boss ourselves. That's certainly something I would assume anyway. Like unless the DM like heavily telegraphs like it is safe to rest, then I would just natively assume that we couldn't. This has probably taught them a good lesson in resource conservation, but especially for the casters. If a caster is going into a boss fight with 0 spell slots, then it means that they've wasted a lot of spell slots. Reduced by 1d6 every 24 hours. I might honestly bring this thing CR down just because it's so, like, if these things existed in any prevalence, they would just kill everything. They would multiply massively. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I think like one of the best lessons that I have learned as a DM is don't let players make obvious and stupid mistakes that their characters obviously wouldn't make. Like, remind players of things. Like, it's a lot of like bad beat stories I have like as a player are from DMs who just didn't tell us critical information that we obviously should have known in character, and he just sort of, like, would let us just stumble into doing really stupid things when we as players had no way of knowing that they were terrible ideas, but our characters obviously would have done. It is like, I mean, yeah, that's just on them at that point. But yeah, it's yeah, that is like probably my like a lot of my like bad beat stories, like as a player with DMs that I thought were just a bit shit, were DMs that would just not give out. I feel like they're pretty competent at murdering. Like, I know exactly how to limit these things. I know exactly how to limit these things and make it so they can't literally just take over the world immediately. While in sunlight, the Spine Fondler has disadvantage on ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws. The Spine Fondler dies if it spends more than 1 hour in direct sunlight. It's the same thing the Myconids have. It forces them to live underground, maybe not necessarily exclusively in the Underdark, maybe just like in a cave near a town, so every so often someone will be taken by a Spine Fondler, and will be infected. The Spine Fondler comes into town and like kills like 6 people, and like infects 3 others. Most of them die from the infection, or transform into Spine Fondlers and die. Oh yeah, the kingdom building book, yeah. I'm like, oh, it rings a bell. I don't remember what it was. What was it? Oh, yes, the monster tactic book. Yes, I remember this. Is then missing. Let me look at the swarm real quick. Yeah, I know, I think probably the next book I do after Flower is going to be an undead book. Not because we need more undead monsters, but because most of the undead in 5e are boring and shit. Some of them are simple and effective, like the Spectre is like, it's simple, it does its job, it's great, thumbs up, it's a good monster. It's painfully simple, but it just works. But on the flip side, the Wight is a CR3 creature that is not CR3 even remotely. It has the damage output of like a CR1 creature and the defensive capabilities of, I think, also a CR1 creature. Let me just double check that. Oh no, it probably has the hang on, let me I have it up here. Let's find out exactly what CR this thing. Its resistances. It does 12 damage. Wow. And it has +4 to hit, apparently. Yeah, it's a defensive CR of 2 and an offensive CR of 1. And apparently, that makes it CR3. It's like, no, it's not. Like, yeah, it has the life drain ability, but it's not actually very dangerous. Like, maybe in big numbers, but at that point, like, it's, yeah, the Wights are shit. They suck. The vampires are just as bad. There's a lot of other undead, which is just like, wow, this is garbage. I don't want to not have that be the case. It's paralyzed. I need to actually go look at the Wight. That's kind of interesting. Unless its corpse is burnt. A humanoid slain by this effect rises 7 days later as a new spine fondler. Let me just check the shadow. Yeah, a new. Let me look at a corpse. No, not corpse. It's a... What is it called? What is it called? What's the monster? It's a carrion stalker, that's it. I don't know if those classifications necessarily work very well in 5e, but I'd have to see them like in action to really sort of, like make a judgment on them for myself. But on the surface, I don't know if those necessarily actually translate. But I don't know. I feel like this monster is missing like it's scary, like visually scary, and has like a horrible thing that it does, but it doesn't have like a unique mechanic. It doesn't do anything like super exciting. It doesn't do anything scary. It doesn't like, well, not scary. It doesn't do anything exciting mechanically. It needs something that is that does that. I don't know what that is. It needs something. I feel like it could do with like a bonus action, maybe. Oh, maybe it has oh, I have an idea. Let's get the bone claw. The bone claw has good technology. We're gonna use it. Yeah, that makes sense. Hmm. My neighbor's dog is making ungodly amounts of noise, as per usual. Fucking hate that thing. I hate it so much. That I think might be the ticket. I do now need to check what its actual, like, CR is. I also need to give it hit points, I haven't done that yet. And an AC. Let's go 15 natural armor. Like, not a high AC, but not like a negligibly low one either, especially for like a CR9 creature. I will sort out hit points later, I'm not going to do that. I'll do that like at the end. The most important thing is damage output. So it has +8 to hit, which is pretty good. What is that? That's like CR11. That's quite high. I guess it's more important the DC. It's DC 16, and damage-wise, it can put out. So its highest damage output would be to use 2 4-leg attacks, then make a grab attack, and then on its next turn, make 2 4-leg attacks, and then make a bite attack, which is that's 51 points of damage, which puts it at CR8. That's actually really quite good. Oh, I forgot to add one more 4-leg attack for each turn, so that's an extra 15 damage. So that's 66 damage, which puts it at CR10. offensively, which is kind of what I want. It has the Shriek ability, which is very dangerous. It also has a massive range. Like, any creature that hears the Shriek is... I should probably... Hang on. Any creature... Each other creature... There we go. Oh, also... Oh, this thing can just use Shriek as its first attack. No, that's actually... Yeah. The start of the Spine Fondler's next turn. Yeah, it needs to... It can replace... Attack with a bite attack or a use of Shriek, yeah. Because it shouldn't be able to open up its turn by using Shriek and then walking up and, like, auto-critting someone with foreleg and then critting someone with, like, grab or something, because that's bad. Like, we don't want that. So, hit points, I'd say we aim for just a CR9 amount of hit points. That seems pretty sensible to me. It's been like an hour for me to get here. It's like that's a lot longer than it usually takes me to like design a single creature. But I guess we've been talking about other things, and just generally this has been like a very complex, like visually very complex creature to design. I'm very excited because I'm definitely going to have to get AJ to do some art for this, because I think that would come out and it would look awful. 22 D10. Let's just give this thing a higher con, because having 19 D10. $76 is 180 hit points, which is pretty scary. It has +8 to stealth. Do I want to give this thing false appearance? You know what? Yeah, we fuck it. Fuck it. We ball. That's what we doing. If the Spine Fondler is motionless, move, act. Move or act. An ordinary decomposing corpse. Oh, it's doing that. Oh, that's really annoying. Oh, fuck. You know what? Is this thing evil? Is this thing genuinely evil? I mean, Myconid's a lawful neutral. It's like, is this thing evil? It's how it reproduces. Is it aligned at all? I don't think so. I think it's unaligned. No. It's a creature that brutally and painfully murders other things, other living things, and is intelligent enough to understand the things that it is killing are alive. Or is it? Is it intelligent enough to understand that? Or does it, or not that is it physically capable? No, it must be. If it can speak its host's languages. I'm ignoring over the fucking like alignment of this terrible fungus. It depends entirely on its mentality, right? Like if it enjoys what it does, then it's objectively evil, right? Like there's no question about that. But it doesn't really enjoy anything. It does it to live. But it's also intelligent enough to understand the thing that it does, or it's feasibly intelligent enough to understand what it does to other creatures and how that hurts them. But it probably doesn't understand the existential horror, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it can't grasp it. Like it's just like yes, it's intelligent enough to like solve puzzles and things, but like it's not. It can perceive pattern, it can do pattern recognition and shit like that, but it can't do emotions. It doesn't understand them. It doesn't experience them. It doesn't feel them, so it doesn't understand them from other things. So maybe it is genuinely true neutral? Yeah. Maybe it has regeneration? Yeah, sure, let's give it regeneration. That's like ditch. Let's give it regeneration 10 or something. And then let's drop like let's look at vampires. There we go. That'll do. That took fucking ages, but it was worth it because I really like this thing. This is very cool. And I desperately want custom art of this thing because it is awful. So I can hang on. I can go margin top and like, oh, not 3,300, 500, 600. There we go. I can like put it down there and have like this. Hell, realistically, I'll probably be able to like fit all of the fungus art like on a single page, or like on one side of the page over here. I might look at making another fungus to like fit in this slot here, just to sort of fill out the pages a bit. But like getting some art to like fill up this space here sounds good. I want that. Okay, right. The fuck do I do now? I spent the last like 2 streams doing fungus things, and I don't know. I say welcome. It's going pretty good. I made the Cordyceps monster. This is the spine fondler. It's worse than it sounds somehow. This thing lives in your spinal cord and grows mushroom legs out of your spinal cord. It was suggested by Agnes. He suggested it, and I was like, that might be a bit too on the nose, and then I came up with the idea of like what it actually looked like, and was like, wait, no, it's perfect. Never mind. There's a good name. It is distinctly awful. I'm gonna get AJ to do some horrible art of this thing. Yeah, it has spider climb. It has deadly reach. It grabs you. It slowly kills you. Or it grabs you, infects you, slowly kills you, and then you die and become a new spine fondler. So it is bad. But it is killed by the sun because this thing is CR9. So yeah, like if these things just like lived unchecked out in the wilderness, they would destroy the entire like human race, like that. Like they would just kill them instantly. Oh, my neighbor's dog is still going. Fucking hate that thing so much. Probably gonna take a bit of a break soon because I've literally spent the last hour like designing this thing. Like Darkhawk would sort of rotate him from this to this, but the guy is dead. Like he's just kind of dangling there, and then the mushroom, the cordyceps, kind of comes out, and like I don't like using 2 hands doesn't really work because these fingers aren't long enough. Because they're not, you know what I mean? Like it's this. There's the corpse here, and the legs kind of come out like this, like big spindly legs, kind of like a daddy long legs or something. Ow. Got a wisdom tooth where like gum keeps growing back over it, and it's going, no, fuck off, and it keeps getting fucking hurts. I have a dentist appointment like next month though, so presumably it won't be too bad. I shouldn't think. I imagine it's probably normal, but they may take one look at it and go, yeah, we need to. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It was not fun this morning, but it is just a case of like it's coming through and it's just taking its sweet time, and occasionally it will get like a, oh, there's flesh here. Let's get rid of that. Eventually the gum will come loose enough where I will come out while I'm like brushing my teeth or something, which is gross. But yeah, it's like it's just very tender at the moment, and to my understanding, that is not horrifically unnatural by any means, but it is it does suck. I'm sure a dentist will tell me in like a month's time. I think it's like my appointment is on like the 8th or something. Yes, it's in 4 weeks. 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Trying to think like what was I? Yes, yeah. I can't remember how much the dentist was last year. It was like 25 quid or something like that. I can't remember. Because for those that don't know, our healthcare is free, but dentist stuff isn't. That's where the joke of like British people having terrible teeth comes from. It's not expensive, mind you. Like if you need like big treatments done, like it is kind of pricey, but it's not like disgustingly expensive. Like unless you needed like really, really serious work done, you're unlikely to spend more than a couple hundred quid. To my understanding, my knowledge is very limited. And I think it can be NHS covered. I know it was when I was a kid, but I like as in like mine was when I was like very young. But I generally, if you're just like an adult doing whatever, you go to the dentist once a year and it's like 25 quid for a checkup, which is really not that bad. It's the same for the opticians, because most opticians are privately owned as well. I went to the opticians a couple months ago. I need to look at screens less. That's probably not going to happen. Yeah, it was, right. I got lots of ideas left on my list, but I don't know. Oh, I've done the tree and sapling. I did that last week. I have the sandbox tree idea that you gave me, Cole. I have new flowers that I want to make, because I've got all these new mushrooms, and there's like 3 flowers. There's like the dread blossom, there's the tri-flower frond, and the yellow musk creeper. Which are like these are like new and improved reprints. This is obviously this here. I want to make more of those flowers, but I don't have any immediate ideas as to what I want to make with them. Flowers aren't as like viscerally horrible as mushrooms are. Sort of like on concept, because they don't literally feed off of death, so I would have to do something a bit more out there to make them work. I want to make new myconids. I'm not sure to what capacity, but I want to make new myconids. I want to make new woodwoads, because the woodwode is a cool creature. I like them, but I feel like there's more interesting, like there's you know, like the woodwode feels like the base level basic woodwode, whereas I want to make like a higher CR, you know, like a crazy woodwode or something like maybe I could make the Oaken Defender like a woodwode of some kind. You should actually. What's a woad? It's a type of dye. It's indigo. That's not the word I'm familiar with. What else does it mean? It's gotta mean something else. I keep seeing it all the time. People refer to like wilderness things as woads. Maybe it just comes from nothing. Woad fantasy. Nope. Can't find any like any originators, but the Oaken Defender would actually make sense as like a different kind of wood woad, maybe, because they fulfill the same kind of end where like you make you sort of turn a creature's it's like a creature's soul into a wood woad. Yeah, it's a cool like ritual. You like it's like a very elaborate and very cool ritual that makes wood woads. But I'll come up with something. So there's the Basidirond, Silent Killer, Skunk Shroom, Spine Fondler, Spring-Heeled Toadstool. There's the God Mimic here, which I... Oh, I know what's happened here. Yeah, it's a willing, like, you are, like, sacrificed, like, ritually and placed into a tree. I say that, maybe... Oh no, they don't have to be willing, but often they are. Like historically, they are like used as like willing sacrifices. Will be like, yeah, sure, stab me in the chest. I'll be a wood woad. That sounds kind of cool. What else do I have on my list? There is the Kelp Angler, which is the last monster to convert. It just has like really weird abilities, so I kind of want to like maybe reinvent it a little. There is the Sandbox Tree Monster. There are the alien plants that I found. There's the big tree titan guy that flies. A little bit of stock art. I want to make like sort of a Gaia-esque plant, like a really like a plant titan, like a CR20 plus. Become Stumpman. I'm probably gonna take a break and see what I can come up with. I'll probably go for like 15 minutes or so, go get food, come back, and probably go for another half an hour maybe. Because I start a little later today, just because like I was finishing up writing spellbook entries, and yeah, so I'm gonna go get something to eat and just take a quick break and sort of reset a bit. And when I want to come back, I will make a decision on what I'm going to do for the next sort of half hour or so. Yeah, I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. Wait for the music to start again. Right, I didn't press the button enough times. There we go, problem solved. Oh. Okay, right. Right, what is going to be next? I'm going to make the sandbox tree. Oh, clear my... Define... Need a name for this thing. I keep seeing the word mulligan used to describe something that explodes. But I'm looking at the definition of mulligan, and that's just blatantly not what it is. That's not what it means. So I don't know where that's coming from. Because calling it like a mulligan tree is that's cool. But I don't know where mulligan is mulligan is a stew, or it's an informal term for golf. Well, it's like an informal golf shot. Yeah, I can't find a definition for mulligan that references explosives at all. I was going to do the sandbox tree, and I wanted to use the term mulligan, but because it apparently means explosive, but every definition I look into says the opposite. But I know that there are like monsters, like in games, like the Binding of Isaac, that explode, that are called mulligans. But I can't find... Dynamulch. That's a dumb name. That sounds like a Pokemon. I think that's one thing I think is generally to be avoided in monster design, is to not make your monsters... Like, any monster that sounds like the name of a Pokemon is inherently going to be silly. Like, Vegapygmy, that's just a Pokemon name, and thus the Vegapygmies are little idiots. Yeah. Um... I might just be simple and call it, oh, actually, hang on, I have an idea. It's a V. Let's call it a volley tree. So a volley maker? Yeah, a volley maker. Mortar tree? So the kind of thing of like, it's a cool name, but in context, like, mortar in universe means nothing because mortars don't exist. So you couldn't name a monster after a thing, after a concept that doesn't exist within the context of the universe. At least theoretically, you probably shouldn't anyway. Because everything I was thinking of was something along those lines as well. Yeah, I don't like volley maker. It's kind of just shit. So I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna use the term mulligan just because I think it sounds good. A Mulligrove. That sort of sounds Pokemon adjacent, but it's not so close. I don't think it's too Pokemon-y, I think. Large plant, neutral evil. Ugh. Yeah, I think Cocoa Pole is like probably just over the line, but I think it's too fun not to use because it is kind of an inherently silly monster. It's also called... Oh, it's called the Possumwood of the Jabberlow. Where are these things? Are they in like... They're in Hawaii, they're in Vietnam, they're in the US Virgin Islands. If anything, I think just the... I like Mulligrove, that's good. I might just call it, like, the Jabio. Well, they have acid sap, don't they? Yeah. If anything, I think it'd be cooler if it sprays poison. Mulligrove or Jabio? What's a cooler name? That's a bot. Jabio. Yeah. It's a more sort of unique name. You hear Jabio and go, what the fuck is that? Unless you're like intimately familiar with the creature in well, oh no, it was already in the right place. Unless you're intimately familiar with like what this thing actually is, at which point you go, oh cool, that's the thing. Like that's the tree that is that grows near me, or something, or like that's the tree I know about, or something like that. Yeah. So, large plant, typically neutral evil. Moves at 20 feet per round. I'm thinking kind of like a Trevenant kind of creature. It's got like, like the Pokemon Trevenant. Except it's got like a bunch of like vines and like tendrils that sort of come off of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. I think it's CR 8, maybe. Like, it's not like high CR, but it's not low CR either. Like, this thing is dangerous. Takes 2d4 piercing damage. And this thing, like, not intelligent, but not, like, completely devoid of... 6, that's -3. 8, no, that's -2. I'm not going to give it any of these, but I will give it, I need to give it stats, physical stats. Con, let's go 20 con. Let's go 18 strength. And probably 8 dexterity. 7th, DC 15, dexterity saving throw. Let's go 4 and 4. Now we'll go 5 and 5. I think the main thing is that will be too many saves. Like, unless there's a very specific reason for you to do it, I don't think you should be making creatures that, like, be like, make a dex save, now make a con save against the extra other effect. I think it can be done sparingly, but I think it should be avoided wherever possible. Tendril. Seven to hit, reach 10 feet, 1 target. Oh, I could call it whip. Oh, I'm stupid. 5 piercing damage plus. Jabio makes 4 whip attacks. And I have a cool ability. Fire ignition. Actually, no, I'll just leave that. So, you do fire damage to this thing. Okay, that's cool. To a point that it can see within. Okay, like the manticore. Yeah, so I figured it'd be kind of fun. It's a bit of a trap, but like in a neat kind of way. That'd be kind of neat, yeah. I probably wouldn't refer to them as like a tribe or anything, but like it would be a thing of like, you know, like, oh, you know, there are some creatures that can work in tandem with the. I feel like this thing would just be chaotic evil. Like it just likes to cause harm. It likes breaking things. It likes the poisoning things. It just likes murder, you know. Text was a critical hit. The target becomes poisoned for 1 minute. A creature poisoned so becomes vulnerable to poison damage dealt by the Jabio. Creature can make at the end of each of its turns, and in I feel like it needs like one more thing. One thing, looking at the page count, we're at 30 pages. I think with the extra things I want to add, we will easily meet my my sort of like desired, you know, sort of 30 to, you know, sort of 35 to 40 page kind of limit for this book, which is very cool. Hell, I think we will very easily reach that number. This has been like very, very sort of like fruitful. I think I'm very happy with how this book is turning out. I'll probably be taking a bit of a break from this book over the next couple months. Not like specifically on stream, but I won't be like specifically going out of my way to work on it a lot off stream because I'm about to start working on another project that will come out at the end of February. So, see, I don't really want more like combat abilities. I feel like it has enough versatility in its turn-to-turn actions. Let me just like add up how much time. 7 times 4 is 28. Yeah. It's 31 points of damage. I say, welcome in. Currently standing up a monster. Oh, this thing's offensive CR is like way lower than I thought. Hey, let me just make sure I've like added that up right. It's 28. Yeah, 7 times 4 is 28 plus 14. Yeah, it's 28. Probably not too long, probably like 5-10 minutes. I'm just finishing up this monster. I'm probably going to stop because I've gone on a lot longer. Well, I say I've gone on a lot longer. I've gone on sort of longer than I would normally. Yeah, no, this thing only does about 30 damage per round, which is way lower than a CR8 creature should. I guess it does. It has hazardous body as well. That's a thing. 6. It's like it's like CR5. That's really not very like. I can just up the damage across the board here, so I guess we'll just kind of do that. Let's go D8s here, so that becomes 18. No, there we go. I said 18 and was like, oh, it's 8, but no, it's 2 9s make 18. Let's go 6 and 6, which is 21. See how this fares out. So that is... That's 40 damage. 40 plus... What's 18 times 2? That doesn't matter. That's like 46 damage. That's a lot more. There we go. Offensive CR 8. Very nice. Now I just need a suitable amount of hit points. I just feel like it needs something else. I don't know what. But I don't know. Maybe this. Maybe this was enough. Because it attacks 4 times. It's going to crit someone at some point. That's just like a really, really dangerous effect. It's 18 AC, and it's a large creature with 20 con. Let's give it 12. Maybe? I guess giving it sure-footed can't hurt. Let's do that. Yeah, I can probably make like a variant Jabio down here, like a, I don't know, I have no idea. So Jabio. Highest CR to be determined, but currently there's 10. There's 9. Hang on, there's like one that's 14, 15, I think, but that's there. I'm planning on making a plant titan at some point, which will be in the 20s, probably sort of low 20s, I imagine. CR10. That's CR12. I know the highest CR plant creature in the base game is like CR11, I think. Yeah, I think CR12 is the highest one right now. Yeah, the Tree and Swarm Keeper and the Oaken Defender are the highest CR guys at the moment. Let me check. What is actually like the highest CR plant in the game? I would assume it's about CR11, but I don't actually know. Correction, it's CR9, it's the Treant. Let me look at all core supplements. Nope. Let me look at all books. Nope, still the Treant at CR9, so we made plenty of higher ones, and I'm hoping to do sort of hopefully 1 or 2 in sort of the, you know, CR17 and up range. I have at least 1 in the sort of pipeline, as it were. Right, I'm going to calculate these hit points. It's not quite where I want it to be. It's 13. Nope. 14. There we go. So 14d10. 14. 14 times 5 would be 70. That's 147 hit points. The Jabio. This thing is pretty cool. Oh, that's true. Yes, you can make a topiary Tarrasque. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, it would be notably weaker than a Tarrasque because it wouldn't have any of its save proficiencies. And hang on, I think it would be more intelligent than the Tarrasque. Let me just check that real quick. No, it is. The Tarrasque, it's less intelligent. I thought the Tarrasque had an intelligence of 1, but it doesn't. It would also be proficient in stealth, so that's pretty funny. Yeah, no, it is definitely the Topiary Tarrasque is probably the most powerful creature, like physically anyway, that you could get. Oh, the Tarrasque does lose its immunity. Hang on. Oh no, it becomes susceptible to fire, but it's still immune to fire. Okay, that's really funny. I might have to change that. And immunities. Except immunity to fire damage. Giant flame retardant bush. Yeah, sadly, the topiary Tarrasque is now susceptible to fire damage as opposed to immune, which is still very funny, but even so. Yeah, I say I am probably going to call it there for today. I will. My D&D game has actually been cancelled on Friday, but I may still be busy in the evening up to the point where, like, streaming won't really be worth it. But I will decide on the day. Like, I am busy in the afternoon. I may be busy up until, like 6 o'clock, at which point there's not really any point in streaming, because I'm going to, like, go get dinner, and by which point it'll be, like, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Be no point. But I may be free at, like, 5:30, at which point I'll probably just run a stream like I did today, just a little shorter this time, probably, because it's, like, 8 o'clock, and I realistically would normally finish about an hour ago. But yeah, like, it doesn't look like we've gotten much done today, but those two monsters were, like, we're sort of reaching the point where monsters aren't just kind of, like, free-flowing. I'm having to kind of, like, really come up with monster ideas, I think I'm going to do, like, the monster redesigns a bit in my own time, I think, but it really depends. Like, I do have a side project that I have a project that I'm working on that needs to come out in February. I may start to use time on stream to work on that. I may also, just to get myself writing more, just stream me writing it. I haven't, like, just definitively made that decision yet. The next couple weeks are the first week of me getting back into running lots of games, so there's a non-zero chance that I will not have the time to do that, but I'm gonna do what I can. But yeah, I'm gonna head off here because I'm desperate for a drink. There's actually been water sat next to me this whole time. Whatever, I'm gonna go, like, make a drink and drink the drink I have and then make more because I'm really thirsty. I hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I may see you on Friday. If not, I will see people at some point next week because I won't be streaming on Monday. I am out of town that day. And I will be back. I will likely be streaming next Friday. I may try and stream during the week, but that's unlikely. So I'll potentially see people on Friday. I will definitely be streaming next Friday, however, 100% about that. See you, folks.